Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Let me adjust real quick. All right, so if you're new here, thanks for joining. Perfect time to come. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. I am doing this video to kind of give a little insight about who I am and moving forward, what this channel is going to be like. I started YouTube a while ago, and when I started YouTube, I started it with the intention of doing modeling videos, clothing hauls and things like that. And the space that I'm in today and right now is not exactly that space. So I really just want to introduce myself, the person behind my stage name and, you know, the work that I did in the plus size industry, and pivot into just being me and allowing you guys to kind of see a deeper look into my life and choose if you want to stick it out with me on this journey or not. So if you're interested in seeing where this channel will be going moving forward, or if I am in alignment with the type of lifestyle and content that you would look forward to, then please stay tuned, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of who I am. So if you're interested, I'll see you there. All right, so first things first, let's start with who is Renee Marie. So if you are a follower and you've been here for a while, you know that this channel has been named Runway Wheezy, and I go by the name Renee Marie. The reason that is because when I first got into plus size modeling prior to COVID, I chose to use my middle name as my stage name, and I created this YouTube with the intention of tracking my modeling journey and also inspiring other people to go ahead and venture out there, that plus size women are able to be successful in the industry and there is a space for you. So when I created this YouTube, that was my intention. I started it to sort of just, you know, do the modeling thing. I wanted to be able to network and have opportunities to work with different brands, and whether those were clothing brands, hair brands, whatever the case may be. Like, I just aspire to put myself out there, to be a promoter of products, to network with other companies and other models, photographers, and just to allow myself more visibility within that industry. Now, why I stopped modeling, well, first and foremost was COVID. When COVID happened, it shut everything down. There were still gigs and there were still events that I did attend during COVID and after, but it just, my fire for modeling definitely died down. I can't say that. Now, granted, I still may get a gig here or there, you know, or if something speaks to me or calls to me, I'm not against it. However, I just really wanted to pivot into a different space, something that sits closer to my soul mission, what I'm here to do, my purpose. And so that is why I really want to take this time to go ahead and pivot right now and allow you guys the opportunity to see who I am, and if what I get with and what I want to do is something that you're in alignment with too. Okay, so what are we going to be doing here if we're not going to be doing the same thing? Great question. First and foremost, I want to stop going by my stage name, my model name, because that's not who I am in this moment. That's not what I'm doing. So I would like to just rebrand my channel altogether, and I am rebranding my channel so we can build a community, a family on this journey. So my name is Tydesia. Tydesia has been such a blessing and a curse of a name, because when I was a kid, I definitely had a lot of struggles with people trying to pronounce it, so much so that I started to just go by Ty. But the older I got and the more I understood the power of my name and forced people to learn it, the more I learned to love my name myself. But most of my family members, they call me by my nickname, and since my intention is to build a community of family, I'm gonna let my people here also call me by that same nickname. So you will now be hearing me go by Deja D, because we family. So Deja D is what most people call me, outside of the people who already know me as Ty. But I mean, if you know Deja and you know Ty and you put in Ty and Deja together, Ty Deja is easy. But for some folks, it's just easier to do either or. So Deja D is who I am, okay? And what this channel will be about moving forward is my love journey, my journey to self-love, to self-compassion, my journey to forgiveness, my journey to learning myself, knowing myself, and moving in a space of happiness, okay? So I want to inspire other people to do the same thing, but I also want to live in my truth. I don't want to come on here and just be surface level with you guys. And how can you expect someone to motivate you that you don't even really know who they are, what they stand for, right? So moving forward, I just want to answer a few questions to kind of give you guys a little background about who I am, what I will be getting into, and yeah, we'll go from there. So you guys will definitely see the name change for this channel. You will see name change for my Instagram. You will see a lot of rebranding, a lot of new things coming out. So I'm really looking forward to that. So let's get right into it. All right. First question I have is, where did I grow up? So I grew up in multiple places. Honestly, I lived all over the place, which really is a hard thing because you don't get the opportunity to really set roots down and get comfortable. I was born in the Bay Area. I used to rip around all over San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area. But I also lived on the East Coast for a minute in Virginia. I spent about 7 of my years out there, off and on, going back and forth. In the beginning, when I was younger, we just were out there because some of our family was there. My grandfather's family was over there. And it's completely different over there, like night and day. When you're in Virginia, everybody's looking at you like, oh my God, that's a California girl. Like, they have all these expectations of you. And then when you go from Virginia to California, everybody's looking at you like, oh, she sound different, she talk different. Like, so you never really feel like you fit in, just to be honest. So that was kind of hard for me. And I can say in my earlier stages, like when I was a kid, I had a hard time making friends just because like I moved around so much, even within like the same city. I moved around so much that like I had a really hard time reconnecting with people over and over again. So I spent a lot of my time with my nose in books. I've always been a person who loves to read. I used reading as a way to escape my reality, and I can say that shaped me a lot as a child. I'd always been like a really introverted kid. You know, I was just fine in my room. I would literally go to the library. My grandma would take me. I'd get like 6 books, literally read them all within that week. And then by that weekend, I'm ready to go back to the library. Like, I would read a book a day. That's how much I didn't have friends. But once I got into like middle school, I did start to kind of venture off and make friends. And in high school, you know, I kind of branched out and became a little more extroverted, but definitely growing up, I was an introvert for sure. What was growing up like for me? It was hard, honestly. I feel like when you are a quiet person or when you are reserved, people tend to try you more often. And fortunately for me, I am from, you know, a pretty rowdy, strong-minded family. So I know how to protect myself, and I know how to like speak up for myself, but I didn't tend to do it. Like, I wasn't the first person to pick any kind of fight. So after a while, after getting bullied for being, you know, in Virginia, being the only Black girl, there were like 3 Black kids in my whole grade. Being tall, I got teased for being tall. I got teased for being fat. I got teased for all types of things, you know, not having the nicest, coolest shoes or items. Like, I got teased for anything you could think of. I got teased for. And so that was really hard for me. And eventually I started to build a lot of anger and resentment, and I started fucking people up. And then, you know, I had to have a few fights, maybe 3, 4 really good ones or bad ones, depends on how you look at it. And after that, people stopped really fucking with me because I realized, like, if you let them continue, they will keep on. So once I learned how to stand up for myself and I put myself in a position to protect myself, people left me the fuck alone. So yeah, I was raised by my grandparents, so I think that kind of had a lot to do with how I was shaped. There were a lot of things that I could not get away with, and there were a lot of things that I could get away with. And so being in a space where you are being raised by a different generation, I feel like it matured me in a different kind of way. There were a lot of things that I had to learn how to do on my own, and there were a lot of things that I was forced to do, one of which was go to church. When I tell you my grandma had us in church 3 times a week, I'm not kidding. I grew up very, very religious, and my grandma, she was kind of flexible with like whether or not she would go to Baptist church or a Kojic church. It didn't matter what kind of church it was necessarily, but we was in that thing. And that's a whole nother story, I guess, for another day, because I can get into all the ways that I have church hurt and all of the experiences. Oh, sorry, y'all, my allergies are acting up and these lashes are irritating my eyes. But yeah. So yeah, growing up with my grandparents was definitely difficult. When my grandfather passed, my grandma, you know, had a really hard time. And me being the oldest daughter, the oldest of all my siblings, I had to really step it up a notch. And I became a major nurturer and provider in my family for both my grandma and my siblings. So yeah, I think I was a happy kid though for the most part. I did not realize like how much we went without. I definitely didn't come from a family that had a lot. I didn't really notice that we were poor until I started going over to my friend's house and realizing like, oh, like your bed's not on the floor. Oh, you have cable. Like, oh, you know? And so that definitely taught me, like, first off, how to make a little from nothing, you know, how to be a survivor, how to live with limited means. But it also taught me like scarcity mindset in a sense, like, and lacking that sense of stability, you know what I mean? So my upbringing wasn't necessarily bad. It was just our conditions, like our living conditions, were always up to par. So I always wanted to do the best I could to try to help provide a better situation. And as soon as I could get a job, literally, I was out there working, you know, buying my own school clothes, and doing my thing. And I did that because I felt like I needed to step it up and be helpful, not just take resources. And that's something that I'm still unlearning, and it's something that really took my childhood away from me at a young age. But in a sense, it also gave me a lot of healing capabilities, a lot of you know, resources, and a lot of knowledge of how to survive and how to be self-sufficient. So I can say that. So yeah, with that experience, you know, as soon as I graduated, I really wanted to go to an HBCU or some sort of school because I really did love school. I've always excelled at school. I have a natural talent to learn because I love it. But unfortunately, I didn't see it in my mind that I was capable of going to college just because of my finances. It didn't seem like an option for me, and unfortunately, I didn't have that much support or resources to encourage me to do otherwise. So I decided to go put myself through school. I worked full-time and I went to school full-time. And I went to school for sociology because I really love people. I started off in nursing, but that wasn't for me. And then I moved into psychology, which was too easy. And so I settled into sociology knowing that I wanted to work with people. And I've had a lot of different jobs working in the community, whether it's working with the county, working with the government, the state, working, doing social services, working with kids in group homes. I've worked in schools with kids with autism and emotional disturbances and things of that nature. I've done behavioral therapy. I've done everything you could think of. Child support services is where I landed now. So I work for the state, getting financial support to the families that are in need. And I honestly love it. I do love what I do. But one thing I can say, with all the hats that I've worn in social services, community work, it really taught me that there's not very much we can do to change the system, which was heartbreaking for me because I was the kind of person who wanted to captain save everybody, okay? And so learning how broken our systems were, especially against my people, was heartbreaking for me, and understanding that I can't change everything from within these systems kind of made me rethink how I wanted to show up for the community. So the job that I'm in now, I really do enjoy it because it's easy work, it's very low stress, and I like the environment. However, I would say I have a different vision for what I want to do, legacy wise, what I want to leave here on this earth. So I guess I am grateful though for the opportunity to see that no matter what hat you wear in these broken systems, you can't fix them. They just have to be wiped out completely and started fresh. So yeah, let's talk about my faith. Like I said, I came from a church background. My family was very Christian, so I came from a very firm set of beliefs. My grandma always allowed us to kind of be free to do what we wanted to do, and so I was grateful for that. But also, like, there was always this overlooming fear of, you know, sinning, going to hell, and things of this nature. And so as I became an adult, I kind of ventured away from the strict religious side of things, and I found myself gravitating more towards spirituality and having my own personal relationship with the Most High, right? And for a while that was hard for me because I really felt a little bit in the middle of doing good and doing evil. But as I learned more about myself and about spirituality and connected to source for myself, I definitely gravitated more towards that because of the freedom of getting to know yourself, the freedom of having the power to heal yourself, having the power to create change in your life instead of all of the restrictions, with respect to all things of life, of living outside of yourself, but most importantly, the relationship that you have to the divine, right? And so I definitely am a spiritual person. This is not something that I've normally shared here on the channel, and I don't share with everyone because it is still a little controversial, especially when I have a lot of family members and friends who are very deep in the church. And of course, everything that you say about crystals and this and that is considered evil. But I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of hiding, and I am who I am. I am a believer in the universe, the law of attraction. I love my crystals, you know. I do my spiritual healing, my meditation, my readings, and things like that. And so those are the things that help me stay full and fill my cup. And that's a huge part of my life that I don't share often, but I feel like I want to share more often because it has changed my life in so many ways. And it has evolved what I believe in a good way. So that is another piece of me. Yeah, and so I just want to be able to share more things that make me who I am. I love to be able to dance. I love music. I love good food. I love motivation. I love thinking deeply. I love symbolism. I love astrology. I love herbalism, healing, natural medicine. I love all types of things, and these things that I learn and I'm interested in and how they help flourish my life, I want to be able to share that more openly with you guys. Yes, I probably will still do unboxings. I probably will still, you know, do lookbooks and body positivity, but I want to get deeper and be more real about who I am and share with you guys the knowledge that I've learned that has helped me open my mind in this journey to loving myself more deeply and loving the life that I live. So yeah, those are the things that make me happy, the things that I love. If there's anything specific that you guys want to know more about or want to see videos about, please drop that down in the comment below, okay? I know this is a big change, and of course you guys will see the name and everything change, and I hope that if this is in alignment with your spirit and the journey that you're taking yourself, that you stay and stick around with me and see how things are going to move forward. And if it's not, you know, it's all respect, it's all love. Definitely, you know, take what serves you, and if this isn't serving you, you know, we'll go our separate ways, and that's fine. But I just want to come here from a space of love, from a space of rawness, and I want you guys to be able to really benefit from who I am and what I have to bring to the table if you're gonna be here. So thanks for rocking with me, guys. To all my light beams out there, my moon beams, to all of my curvy babes, to everybody out here who's been rocking with me this far, I really do appreciate you, and I can't wait to see the community that we build together, okay? All right, well, that's it. That's it for the rebranding. Much love to all of you guys, and I'll see you on the next journey. All right.